All right, so let's talk about the top stocks that I'm looking to buy during this current time frame. You guys know I love discounts, and man, we have been getting some discounts this year, and there are some new stocks as well on this list that honestly have not been in a buy range for quite some time, so I'll give those to you too, and a couple stocks that are gonna get you guys all kinds of fired up as well. Every time these stocks are on the list, you guys get fired up. And let's just say one stock in particular is back on the list that you guys love to talk about. So we have a lot to talk about today, but just make sure before we jump into it that you hit that like button if you like getting the truth without the hype, and if you like seeing what stocks I'm currently buying right now. I believe everybody can retire early and have financial freedom despite all the lies that you've been told. So make sure you check out the pinned comment down there. That's my new channel. Jump on over there and subscribe if you want to learn how to retire early and be financial free. That is what that channel is all about right there. So check that out if you're interested in that. I mean, who doesn't want to retire early and be financially free? All right, so just keep in mind, these are the stocks that I'm currently targeting right now. There's actually 15 stocks on my watch list. And in terms of the stocks that kind of come into the buy range, it kind of changes periodically, right? Sometimes stocks go on runs and they run away from us for a little while. And other times stocks go on significant discount and they stay on the list for a while, and they stay on the list and they stay on the list. So this thing is constantly moving, it's constantly changing, but I'm actually tracking 15 stocks I'm looking to buy. And it's just amazing to watch as earnings tick by and everything else kind of ticks by, how much stocks kind of move and they go, hey, I'm never going to be able to buy that stock again. And then bang, all of a sudden it hits down to, it starts getting close, and all of a sudden, bang, I'm able to buy that stock once again at a price that a few months earlier seemed kind of ridiculous and unreasonable. Bang, here it is right now, able to be bought. Also keep in mind, I'm looking out 3 to 5 years. I'm not trading. I don't care what the best trade is. I don't care if it's going to go down in the short term or if the charts are saying this or if the charts are saying that. I am simply executing to my plan, which is forward looking out 3 to 5 years. That's kind of where my mindset is. But for me, these stocks are the ones on the biggest discount based upon valuation in the end, not based upon anything else. I am simply looking at what my valuation is for each stock, my plan for each stock is, and then where I want to buy that stock at. That is how these stocks come on and off this list. So for me, these are the best deals based upon valuation for my plan, for my portfolio, for the stocks that I want to own to hit my long-term goals in regards to wealth building with stocks. So number one is General Mills. This obviously is a buy for my dividend portfolio. I mean, General Mills is just kind of, they make everything in terms of food products. Seems like they're involved in everything. And it's just a nice, steady dividend stock that's just going to continue to pay into the future. It's being kind of stubborn, actually. It just can't get it to go any lower. I want it to get just a smidge lower. It's not trading exceedingly rich or anything like that. But man, it just seems to hold strong just right there at $60. And it just doesn't seem to be able to break below it no matter what happens out there. It can't seem to break below it. Maybe we'll get a discount here after earnings. Who knows with the way earnings has gone so far this year. Been pretty wild, but for me, General Mills is just a solid, steady dividend portfolio player, and it's there to kind of anchor my dividend portfolio because I have some, I won't call them, definitely the riskier portfolio plays in my dividend portfolio there. So this one definitely kind of balances that one out, and it's that type stock. So stock number two is Starbucks. Again, another dividend portfolio player, and it's another stock that just continues to run. It's most of the other stocks that I'm looking at in terms of dividend plays, they've fallen down and they're kind of not on hard times or anything, but they've definitely fallen back down to fair value, and they're just kind of hanging out there. They're not really doing a whole lot. They continue to kind of get beat up for now, and that's okay. That's exactly what I want as a long-term buy and hold investor. But Starbucks seems to have big run-ups, big rundowns, kind of rinse and repeat with that stock. And so I'm just kind of waiting. I'm being patient here. I'm adding as it comes down. But man, I mean, the lines are still ridiculous at Starbucks, right? I can't walk past one, can't go past one in the airport. That does not have, lines just ridiculous compared to every other place in the airport or, in a shopping area. When you drive past it, it's just got a line of cars everywhere. It's just one of those deals that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And with their expansion plans, basically starting to ramp up this year. We'll see exactly how it goes, but this year and next year specifically, some of those expansion plans that they kind of had on hold, if they start to continue those, we could see some big movement in the stock over the coming year or two. So I'm excited to be able to get some of these discounts and go ahead and build out the rest of my position there in Starbucks and kind of get that set. So that way, if that expansion plan comes to light, it's going to get a lot of traction. And obviously we should see a lot of rewards as Starbucks shareholders. So next up is SoFi. All right. As you guys have seen, SoFi has been just wild for a long time now. I mean, you pick up shares for $4 and all of a sudden it runs up to $8, $9 and then it falls back down to $5. And I mean, it's been a wild ride, but the company itself has not, it's actually been anything but wild. The share price has been up and down, up and down, up and down, but the company has done anything but that. It has just consistently hit the mark, set the bar higher, hit the mark again for 8 or 9 earnings in a row. And obviously, we have big earnings coming up this week, and I'm excited for them actually. I'm honestly hoping that we get kind of a Palantir style run after earnings and then just an epic beatdown one last time. So you get one last time to really pick up shares before basically it kind of makes its next level, its kind of next little support line there that basically, hey, that was as low as it was going to go and it's going to get there. Now, there's no guarantees with any of that. It could very well, have earnings, take off up to that next level and never come back down. You don't know. But boy, with all the volatility this stock has had over the past 2 years, nothing would surprise me at this stage. Earnings, blowout, great earnings, profitability, better than expected guidance, and Wall Street beats it down to $5 again. That would not surprise me either with this stock. That is how absolutely ridiculous it has moved over the past 2 years. Thankfully, I have been buying this entire time, so I'm well into bonus shares. I know a lot of you guys have been all over this stock for a long time, and you guys are well into bonus shares too. But man, I hope we get one more opportunity with it. And like I said, it's kind of flirting with where I want to buy again. So it wouldn't take much in order to send it back down to my price target for me to add more. So the next stock up would be Coca-Cola. It's a stock that I had to wait a whole year before I could buy, but man, I'm glad I did because it really came down and I've just been getting a great deal. Excuse me, I should say good deal. It's not a great deal. It's right around fair value and that's exactly what I'm paying for it, which I can't complain with a stock that is as steady as Coca-Cola is, that just performs as great as Coca-Cola is over the long run there. It's again, another stability play in my dividend portfolio there that I'm very, very pleased to add. And I'm glad, obviously, I didn't add last year or I guess it was almost 2 years ago now, whenever it was kind of sitting at its all-time highs. I'm very glad we were patient and we've been picking up shares on the cheap this past, few months or so. We've been able to pick up shares on the cheap. So I'm very, very happy to continue to add to this stock and finish out that position as well in my dividend portfolio. All right, so on to the controversial part of this list. It's going to get the comment section fired up. It's our last 2 stocks and the last one. It hadn't been on this list in a while, and it's one that definitely gets you guys fired up. So I'm excited to talk about it too. But before we get to that one, let's get to the next stock. And you guys know that would be PayPal. Look, for like 2 years, all it did was crater down, start moving back up, and then crater down and make new lows. And it just kind of kept doing that for more than a year. And even last year, when it seems like all the growth names ran, PayPal just couldn't get started. But we are finally seeing signs of life, guys. We've been talking about it here. We said, hey, if they can get up over 60 and hold that line, it briefly went down below it, but they were able to kick it right back up above it. Man, that's huge for the stock price there. And obviously, with the huge announcements and everything else going on, we could very well see more of a run in the stock, but it is still undervalued at this stage. So for me, that's the reason why it stays on my list. I don't care what sort of run it goes on over the next few weeks. Doesn't matter to me. I'm interested in what's going on with earnings, and it's still undervalued at this stage. And if I have capital to deploy, it's a great place to put that capital in my mind. I don't think I'm going to get a meta style return on it in a year or anything else crazy like that. You guys know that. Matter of fact, you can check out up here my video on where I think it's going for 2024 specifically in regards to the return. Obviously, if I'm wrong, I'm going to be really, really happy. I win regardless. That's the best part about being conservative, is if it happens to take off on you, you still win regardless. But nonetheless, this is one I'm going to continue to add until I think it gets closer to fair value, because it's just a great company. I love what the new CEO is saying. Now, he has to execute to it, but at least in terms of what he's saying and the energy he's bringing and some of the changes he's made initially, I absolutely love. So that's the reason why PayPal's on here, and I'm going to continue to buy this stock. But if we get a good run, it might actually fall off of this list, just like the next stock, the very last stock that we have to talk about today that's going to get you guys all fired up. And that stock is Tesla. Now let's see how the next few weeks shake out for Tesla after its earnings. I'll give you guys my full breakdown on earnings in a different video there, so I don't want to talk about that right here. We'll talk about that in a different video and we'll get into all the nuances there. But man, I don't know. Tesla's one of those deals to where it doesn't take much to have it break down and have it be right there at my price target. It moves like no other mega cap stock has ever moved. It's just amazing what happens with the stock. So this one right here, it hadn't been on my radar in a while, but it's absolutely on my radar right now with everything that's going on with Tesla, everything that's going on with Elon. We could very well get opportunities in this stock once again, so I am ready to go, ready to pull that trigger if we get the opportunity. Like I said, I'll make a dedicated video on Tesla's earnings specifically for you guys here shortly, but just know right now I am absolutely ready to deploy and I'm watching the stock. And if you want to see my buys in all these stocks in real time, be able to see my complete watch list with price targets, you want to take 5 courses for free, use our stock analyzer tool for free, be a part of the best 6, 7, and 8-figure Discord out there, and jump on all of our live Q&As. We're doing earnings calls live right now for you guys. You guys can pile into it, and as many of you guys want to jump on and go through the earnings call with me, you can, and so much more. Make sure you check out the pinned comment down there and see if a membership's right for you. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market, and click here to see my exact plan for this market. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.